we have something to let you guys know. There was a reason why I wanted some clothes, and we only have the Disney wives to blame for this. We've got us cases out.
I don't know whether I'm excited, nervous, or terrified.
I wonder what Elon Musk would think if he were watching this video.
I could sell a flat dish, that would be thinking. And they do.
Spider having its breakfast.
Well, there's another spider having its breakfast now.
On window.
Is it on the outside?
It's just crawled right down, yeah.
Good job, we've got the nets.
And it went and got something it had caught in its web.
Lovely.
Thank you to my lovely husband for bringing me coffee while I was editing there and what have you. We are going out to pick a few parcels up, and later in this video, which you may have guessed from... Stop blowing your phone.
I'm waiting for you to say something.
Whilst you may have seen from the thumbnail, we have something to let you guys know. It's something... We'll tell you more later in this video.
Oops, I put that on an error. Go on, carry on.
It's something that's come about out of the blue, and we didn't have it planned, but now we do. And we're at first we're
now
a
Leigh
bit
wants
stressed.
now Leigh wants to cancel.
No.
Yes, you did.
I did, because we were all like, "What have we done?" But now I'm happy about it because I've been looking for music for it. So we'll tell you about that later. We've just got to nip out and get some stuff. We've got a few chores to do. We have...
Waiting for my Starlink dish.
Hoping that may come today. But, oh, is it tomorrow?
No, it's not even... It's left the sender's depot and is at the central hub. It's not even got to the local hub yet, so it's not going to be here today.
And the sun is out and it feels very warm.
It's 20 degrees.
Woo!
Right, Leigh never told me when we came out that we have to call up Morrison's.
Well,
I wouldn't have come.
You want to eat food?
I'm sick. I bloody live in supermarkets. I was there last night at Tesco and now he wants more stuff.
We don't... The trouble with us is...
We don't do a weekly shop.
We don't do a weekly shop because we don't know where we're going to be. We might nip back home, we might... Do you know what I mean? So
might fly off somewhere.
We always tend to just buy for a couple of days. So
not very economical doing that,
but we were in the area anyway.
Right.
And so we're going to get some food. Enjoy. Which salad do you want, Nick? Balsamic?
Yeah.
Balsamic?
Yeah.
And the best beetroot that we ever have. Morrison's best juniper and black pepper beetroot. It's so good.
Sweet as all.
And some skinny whips. Yeah, get chocolate orange for a change.
And toffee.
Go on then.
Is that it?
Yeah. We have to get some of this, which is to do with what we're going to tell you later. Friggin' hell, that's heavy.
Is that the normal chunk?
Yeah, original pickle, because a friend of ours wants us to take him some. Back, quick little haul. We also got a friend of ours some digestives, which he's requested. I'll tell you about that later. Yes, that is the best beetroot we've ever had. It's lovely. Nick really enjoys these
they're gorgeous.
Eat Natural bars. Eat Natural bars. We love these protein mousses that we only seem to be able to get from Morrison's. Got some apples. I'll have an apple actually. And just some supplies for something that we'll tell you about later.
You keep saying that.
And oh yeah, that's for our friend as well.
I'll tell you about that later.
I'll tell you about that later. Right, we're just going to go around to the lounge for a cup of tea. We haven't been for ages. And we picked up this at Morrison's to have for our lunch. It is a New York style deli pastrami sandwich. Going to enjoy that with a cup of tea. What are you doing?
Testing Starlink, which is not working.
What do you mean?
It's not working.
Not working at all?
Well, it just says finding satellite, but it's not.
That's
I've been waiting
Starlink.
15 minutes.
But what you're actually
It's found
testing...
a satellite and is attempting to join the Starlink network. But it's not going any further.
Let's hope you're not broken it.
I don't know yet.
With your 12 volt stuff.
That's not touched the Starlink, that's just the internal power of the van.
Do you want to explain what you're actually doing though, once hopefully it gets working?
There's a new feature on the app apparently that lets you tilt it directly up into the sky, which is what we'll be doing when we fit it onto the mount. but I need to boot it up to be able to see that. In fact, it's just buzzed in my hand. Optimizing connection, it says now. Moment. Is it doing anything?
No.
It says optimizing connection. So it's locked onto something flying overhead.
I was talking to Hannah and Mark about Starlink a few weeks ago. I sent her a picture and she says, what have you called him? I think she said, what have you called him? Or I just made a name up and I said, it's Stanley Starlink.
What are you going to call it when it's on roof?
Is that Stanley? Stanley? I'm not going to change the name, am I? Stanley Starlink.
So the feature is there actually. This is it here. So tilt, and you can set it to flat or automatic. So I'm going to set it to flat and save. And the dish should tilt upwards. It don't work. Right, it worked this time. So you just set it to flat and it does that. It just basically makes the motor go back to its default mode, and that's how it's going to be mounted when we are on the roof. So there we go, works fine. The new feature. Little fly, get lost. Just need to wait for the mount now, and then what we have to do is, if I show you this here, we have to cut from these dots here to these dots here inside, and cut out this entire section, and then take out this stand and motor, pull the wire which actually threads into the barrel here, up here, tuck it inside the dish, and then glue this dish into the mount which is already screwed to the roof.
Right. Did that work or not?
Yes.
Good.
There's a new function now that says that the dish is going to be permanently used on an RV roof, so you set it to tilt and it sticks upwards, so I just need to remove the stick and then we're sorted.
We're back and we said we'd tell you what's going on. You've probably guessed already by now. There was a reason why I wanted some clothes. I was a bit sort of sneaky yesterday and just saying it was for our trip later on in the year, and the other day that would have been true.
Which it is, because we are not going to Disney. Let me just clarify that. We are not going to Disney.
No, that's not true.
We're not going to a Disney park.
That's more like it.
However,
our cases are out and we only have the Disney wives to blame for this. Let's sit down and we'll tell you why. It's bright in here and Nick has a headache.
It's very bright.
That's why he's got his sunglasses on. So,
it all started when we got a text message from Emma saying, do you fancy dinner at Wetherspoons?
well, no, it started actually on Sunday night.
Eh?
When the Disney wives came round. You saw in, I think it was the last video. They came round and they said, well, if you're not doing it tomorrow, come round and see Remy and the boys, the dogs.
So we did.
So we did, and then, yeah, she did.
And it was sunny and we were in the garden.
She did say, do you want to go to Wetherspoons? And we did. So, we were in the garden, as you saw in the last video, fussing with the dogs and stuff.
And as we do, we were talking about Disney.
Because we always do, and they are the Disney wives, so we always talk about Disney in Florida with the Disney wives.
Yep.
And it gets us thinking about Disney. And
we mentioned that
the night before, we'd mentioned this, that when my family were here, we were just talking about holidays and stuff. And Nick reminded me again that we have a companion voucher which is going to
expire at the end of June
if we don't use it.
So you can still use a companion voucher as long as you start your trip before the expiry date. You can come back at any date, if that makes sense. So we could go on the 28th of June, or whatever the expiry date is, end of June, and return in December. It's still valid even though the actual ticket runs out, because you've got to be
just
partway
book
through.
It. Yeah, so I've been like, for a while I've been saying, we're not going to Florida as much now, so what's point in us building up all these Virgin points?
New York.
And we might go back there at some point.
Delta, when we do internal road trips.
But anyway, my point was, we don't seem to be going to Florida as much anymore, which is correct.
Get on with story.
So anyway, Nick mentioned that on the Sunday night, and then on the Monday night, when they were talking about Disney, I just happened to say, if the weather wasn't so hot at the moment, I wouldn't mind just using that voucher, having a quick week in Florida, seeing the Bazzers, having a little, look around Florida. And
that was it until we got to Wetherspoons, and then we were talking about their holiday to Turkey.
And they were a bit like, they were talking as if they would rather go to Florida.
Yeah.
And I said, would you rather go to Florida? And they were like, well, yeah, probably. And I'm like, well, why don't you just phone TUI, which is who they're going with, and just get it changed if you can.
So we looked up the terms and conditions, and they were within the timescale to not have any kind of penalty charge.
And I can't think who it was.
Before we knew it...
I can't think who it was of the four of us who said, well, if we're going, why don't you use your free companion voucher and just come for a week? And it just sparked something in both of us, like, well, why don't we?
But we couldn't, because we couldn't get the reward seats available on the dates that we needed to. So We're not going for a week, we're going for 8 days.
Yes.
We've never done a short trip before. We're not doing Disney, and neither are Disney wives.
No, we are going to Disney, but we're not going to a Disney park.
We're not going to Disney parks.
I didn't finish the story. So that was a conversation, and then we got home. They were texting. We've switched our holiday. We're off to Florida and staying here and doing this.
So I'm like, oh.
So we're like, oh, do we push our van trip, which we're still doing, to Europe back a little bit? And I'm like,
it would only change it by a week.
But my head was in a mess, as it always does get, because I'm like,
Booker's
changing all
he
his
gets
plans.
Booker's remorse.
But I'm like, yeah, let's do it.
So I phoned Virgin.
Baz has been talking to us and he keeps saying, come over, stay at my house, whatever you want. So we're just chatting to him. He's like, yeah, house is free, come over. They're on a road trip.
For the first 2 days.
For the first 2 days. I'm going to be there for the rest of it.
Yeah.
And so it's booked. We're going to Florida before we go on our European van trip, which is still happening when we get back.
So we're only doing 8 days. It's 9. There'll be 9 vlogs. 7 full days.
Well, if we vlog every day.
7 full days there. And then we've obviously got 2 travel days.
And
then we're going to be back
Florida
for
the van trip.
3 or 4 days to acclimatise, do us washing.
Get over jet lag.
And then we were going to go from here and spend a week in the UK, getting down to Dover. Going to see Mark and Hannah and whatnot.
Which will still.
We're going to do that, but we're not going to spend a week going down there now. That
we'll
week is effectively the Florida week. So we're just going to go straight from here, straight to Mark and Hannah's, spend a day or 2 with them, and then straight to Dover, onto the ferry, and then into Europe for our 2 months trip.
So as Nick said, we're not doing Disney this time, because we're doing Disney on our next Florida trip at
later this year.
We decided for a week, we don't want to spend that kind of money on Disney tickets.
We are going to do Universal, because when we're there, we're going to convert the Universal tickets that we do have to annual passes, so we can use them again in September.
Yeah. So we're doing Universal, 3 parks, including Volcano Bay.
Yep.
3 parks at a minimum, sort of 3 days at a minimum. We might do City Walk and stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
Going to meet the Bazzers.
Disney Springs. Some Disney meals and some resort hopping. So we're still going to get a Disney fix. We'll see the fireworks either from Grand Floridian or Polynesian Beach.
Hopefully squeeze in a trip to Celebration, because is there a new place there now or something? In Celebration?
Is there?
I'm sure you said there were a new place in Celebration that we haven't seen before.
I don't know.
Anyway, Nick wants one of those milkshakes from
Kilwins.
So,
even though the Twisty Treats are better.
Well,
we're going there as well.
But we'll go to Celebration. We want to squeeze Celebration in.
Yeah.
So this is
the girls have never done Wilderness Lodge and they've never done Grand Floridian, so we're going to go with them and show them that, and hopefully have some meals there.
Out of the blue.
So when we booked it, Leigh was up in the middle of the night, 2 a.m.
I couldn't sleep.
Like, what have we done? What have we done? And I'm like, for God's sake, it's a week.
Yes.
I'm looking
forward to it.
We spent longer in Cornwall than we're already going to do in Florida.
You know, when your mind's got it all planned out, like, this is our European van vacation, it starts on this date.
We haven't even started.
We're doing there.
Yeah, but we never had a date for the European one.
Anyway, we threw this in out of the blue, but I've got used to it now, and I'm busy looking on Amazon for some Universal t-shirts. I just want a couple. Nick's already ordered a Jurassic Park one.
And I got a Marvel one yesterday.
But we're only going for 8 days, as Nick said, so we don't have to take much luggage this time. Although we've got the cases out. We're not going for a few weeks yet, but we thought we'd just get them out, because the wives have already got theirs out, so it makes us have FOMO for packing. So we're like, right, let's get the cases out.
We'll be taking less close to Florida than we did on the 2-week van trip.
Well, yeah.
We could even take 1 suitcase. Even though we are flying premium, we used the companion voucher, so you used 45,000 miles, didn't you? And I went free because he had the companion voucher. And there we go.
You still got to pay taxes on the companion voucher.
Yeah.
You don't technically go for free, but you go for a lot less.
You get your taxes.
Yeah.
You got to pay taxes.
So it was a shame not to use it, and the main reason why I was like, oh, what have we done? Well, A, is because it's pushed his van trip back a little bit, but it's only a week. But B, was I were like, oh God, the heat in June.
We've been in June before.
Yeah,
God, it's bright in here.
And we both said we would never, ever go back in June, because it's like walking around in a furnace. But it's just a week. I'll stop moaning. I'll just man up and get on with it.
Yeah, I wish you would. So there we go.
There we go. So that's all the plans we've got at the minute. We do have a couple of Disney meals booked already with the Bazzers and the wives. We've just got to make sure it's the ones that we want. There's a new one in there, and one that we've already done, but not at dinner.
Which one?
Oh.
You're not going to the Park Lane. The Park Fair one.
We were going to do 1900 Park Fair.
We watched the video. We changed his mind.
It's very.
We are talking about doing the Grand Floridian Cafe for dinner, which we've never done, but doing an evening reservation. So when it's done, we can walk to the dockside on Grand Floridian and watch the fireworks there.
So
which we've done when we've been to Narcoossee's before, and that was nice.
So we do want to see the fireworks, so we get that little bit of a Disney fix. We always said, well, two things we always said: we'll never go back in June, so we've buggered that up. And the second
when
thing
does anybody ever pay any attention to what we said?
Well, definitely what you said. Nobody takes attention. And the second thing was, we always said we would never go for a week because it just would not feel that long.
We're not going for a week. We're going for 8 days.
8 days. The wives are going for 7 days. We couldn't get. We're not going on the same plane. They're going with a different airline. We're going with Virgin. And
we can't get the same. No. We can't get the same dates when we're coming back.
So we're there for.
So we are going to be with them when we're there. Well, at least some of the time, anyway.
Yeah, not every day, but a lot
see
of the
Bazzers. Just catch up with some friends over there. But it's going to be like a chill week before the hectic time in Europe.
I imagine it's going to be like.
If it wasn't for the companion voucher, we wouldn't be going. And if I'd have gone down.
To be fair, it's not that companion voucher. It's because we had frigging lunch with the wives. They did it.
Well, on that day, I was going to drive down to.
The day before, you were going to drive and go get that Starlink, and I said,
had I done that, would have been fitting it on the Sunday when we went with the wives, and we wouldn't have gone round, and that would have changed it.
So it's the butterfly effect. Yes, things happen, and this has happened out of the blue, and we're looking forward to it, and we're looking forward to vlogging some more things for you guys that we can show you. I think there's some more Universal rides. Obviously, you can't film on many Universal rides, but there's Minions, Blaster Mayhem thing or something that's new for us to try.
Yep. So we may see DreamWorks. I don't know what the opening date is. We'll have to have a look. But
and I really want to try Homecoming. So
you've no chance. You've no chance of getting a reservation for that. So not a chance.
There you go. That's all happened this week.
Right, you can start packing.
Out of the blue.
You can start packing now.
So as you may have guessed, these are for the Bazzers. We asked them if they wanted anything taken, and they said not much because they got some stuff recently, but they wanted some Branston original pickle and some Digestives originals as well. So we'll take those for the Bazzers.
Assuming the last.
Of course, I'm going to put them somewhere.
They've got to be in here for a while, yeah.
I'll put them in my case. At the moment, we're putting Cajun on everything we do.
And that's very fishy. Whew.
Cajun salmon about to go in the air fryer. Lots we're going to put these in I'll put these in the case as well, yeah?
Yeah.
Lots of antiperspirant.
Az's got our storage box out the other day.
We ain't got enough.
And
as anybody that goes to Florida knows, if you use antiperspirant, that it's very expensive in Walmart and stuff. So we just take our own. That should be enough for a week. Right, Nick's just been in the shower, but he's out now, so he's making some toast. So I'm going to go and have that. Just doing a new blog post. Go check out our blog. If you've not, blog.thelodgeguys.com. We've got our cases out. I know it's as you've seen already. It's early, but we just like to get sorted. I'm not sure whether
so influenced by the wives.
Yeah, they've got their cases out.
That's
too.
The only reason we've got ours.
I'm not sure whether I'm taking that or not. I'll have to decide.
I'll pack mine the week before.
I don't even know what's in there. Let me just move these over. I'm not going to be wearing that until I go. I got some new shorts yesterday as well at Matalan, and this probably hasn't been out since. Well, I don't know. Did I take this to Paris last year? Oh, my packing cubes. Ooh, my swimming top, actually. Yes, glad I found that. Especially in June when it's going to be absolutely sweltering hot and red hot sun. I don't want to be burning my shoulders and stuff. Oh, magic bands. Won't be using them this time. First aid kit. Anything in here? Nope. Right, so I'll sort that out. Some stickers in there. Sort that out at some point this week. And two things. One, I just looked at the clock and it's 8:15 and it's still so bright and light and blue sky out there. I love it when it's like this. And the second thing is we've had good news about the Starlink mount from the courier. It's turned up in Bridlington. It's at the Bridlington courier site. So fingers crossed that means it'll turn up tomorrow and we can go and get that. And then, what is it tomorrow? Thursday. We can spend, well, when I say we, Nick, I'll just be helping, probably a day sort of installing it, and then hopefully be ready to go somewhere at the weekend.
Unless we screw it up, we end up having to go to Costco to buy another dish.
That's a possibility too. Some of our friends are over here at the weekend, so we might head out and see them. And
Whitby way, maybe.
Whitby way, maybe. So I'm just going to go and have some toast. Good morning, welcome to the next day. We had good news. The Starlink mount is out for delivery, and as I said, it's very local, is the delivery office, so it all depends on the driver's route, whether they drop it off first or they drop it off on the way back. So we're just waiting on that now to be delivered. So
I'm checking constantly.
Nick says it will take a whole day to fit this thing.
I think it will.
So
I don't want to underestimate it and let it take like 2 hours when I already know that the dish cutting is going to be the time-consuming bit, and then drilling the hole on the roof and then resealing it and then threading the wire. That's all going to be time-consuming.
So of course we'll show you all this as and when it happens. Until we get the say so that it's been delivered, we are just going to go.
Delivered.
Are you sure? Has it?
No, I'm telling you, it's been delivered.
What?
Delivered!
It has been delivered.
Yeah, just now.
And there's a call to say that we've got a parcel to collect.
Hiya. Yeah, I've just seen it. All right, I'm on my way. All right. Cheers then. See you soon. Bye. Delivered.
Right then, we're off to get that then.
Right, well I won't go in hot tub, but best cancel that now. Right, we're on our way. I don't know whether I'm excited, nervous or terrified. Because there are two things we've got to do today. We have to basically saw the back of the Starlink dish off and take the tripod off, which is very risky. We also have to cut another hole in the van roof without being able to seal it on the inside. So, nervous day for me. We also have to decide on the roof as well where we're going to mount it. The first thing we do when we've collected it is go to B&Q and get some aluminium L brackets that fit into the grooves which printed into the star mount, and then I'm going to cut them up and then use them as brackets to actually screw them to the roof of the van. So that's the first job. Right, Lee's just gone into Morrison's. I'm just having a quick look. Here we are. This is it. So we assemble it and the dish sits in this trim here. We've got to get some aluminium brackets to fit in this groove, which are going to go to B&Q, and some bolts that sit nicely in that hole but don't protrude out too much on the other side that they catch onto the dish, and we're going to have to get some like locking nuts on there as well, but there we go. So when we get back, we're going to assemble that, then we're going to spray it the same colour as the van and then glue the dish into there once we've hacked the back of the dish off.
No more of those for the next few weeks. Well, we're getting in shape for Florida. No.
You're just happy with that?
Not anymore. Here we are at B&Q, taking the Starlink thing in so we can get the right things to go with it.
Get a bracket for in there.
Right, so this is the kind of thing we need, the L brackets that will fit inside these grooves.
I'm going to have a problem here.
Why don't you think it's the right one?
Well, I can't get the right thickness. They've got a limited range. I've got to get that as high as that hole, and it's not going to catch it.
That's a nice little barbecue. Be perfect for a van. That. I know it's messing around though, you can just do it inside and eat outside, but I quite like that, only 14 quid.
Right, might have found one. Pass me that other piece. And then the other bit goes on there, and we cut that, and we need 4 of these, so that'll be fine.
Right, here we go. It's time to convert Starlink from its normal, what it is, mode to flat mounted so that it can go on the top of the camper van.
I don't want to do it.
So we've got these 3D printed mounts from our friend who does 3D printing, and we'll show you what happens next.
We've got to assemble it now.
Right, so that's the mount.
The first thing we need to do is make sure that the Starlink
Fits inside it.
fits inside that silhouette. So we'll do that first.
Perfect. Look, by the looks of it.
Well, what do you think?
Once it's all
Assembled.
properly assembled, yeah.
Well, let's make sure we've got the length right. So it's going to fit in lengthwise. That's going to fit. Hold on. Like that.
Yep.
And then in there. And then when it's all glued together, and that'll be a perfect fit. Right, so step one, we've established that the 3D printers worked fine. So let's just pop that to one side for now. Now the next thing I need to do is create 4 brackets that go into these grooves here, and then screw them into place. And then these 2 here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill some holes and put a piece of dowling in just to keep them interlocked. Because there's no way on the 3D printed bit that you have to stick them together, and well, that's not going to work really, so we'll figure a way.
Right, that's 4 of those cut and a little ant coming towards you.
Ooh. It's not an ant, it's a spider. It's gone. Right, what I need to do is now mark these and drill it through the plates.
Right, last bracket, pilot holes are going in.
Then I'm going to drill some dowling holes. I'll use the dowling that we took out the table in the van.
Yep.
And pop them in so they can lock them together while the glue dries.
We've had to put hats on because the weather is beautiful.
It's baking
It's about 20 degrees. How the heck am I going to cope in Florida next month
I'm sure you'll know.
when it's 40 degrees? Right, just using these metal dowlings to line up so we can get a hole on the other side to fit it together. Now that's all that put together almost. Now we're going to spray it a darker grey just so it matches the van a little bit better.
In case we have to mount it near the end.
Yeah.
If we mount it in the middle it won't matter, but we've got the paint, so why not?
Yeah, so we're going to do that, and this is the paint that we got. It was from Boys, wasn't
that's
it?
the wrong one.
Oh no, that's the wrong one.
We'll have to go get the right one.
Oh, hang on a minute. Right, this is the one we're actually using. Gunmetal metallic grey, just so it matches the van better. Right, the mount is drying, so Nick's going to mark the dish, or as Starlink call it, the dishy, where he's going to start the cutting. So this is the scary bit. The cutting of the dish, because if you mess this up, it's a new dish needed.
Trip to Costco. Right, so you do it, these vents, you do it 1 centimetre to the right of the vent, to the right, and on this one, just in front of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut this section first and chisel it out so we can get in and see where there's a wire, because there's a wire looped here or here, and we won't know which way it's been manufactured, and we don't want to be cutting straight through and cutting through the wire, because that is attached to the socket in here. Right, and you can see the thickness of the plastic. Now what we've got to do is cut with the multi-tool now.
Time to see what's in it and see if we've cut anything. Oh my goodness, you were so close.
Now that's the motor. I needed this to be on this side, so we've still got to do it again. Hold on. Ooh.
What?
So, I think the wire is here. So what we'll do is we'll continue to cut to this hole here now.
Moment of truth.
Hold on, I nearly need a flat-head screwdriver for this.
Oh. Ooh, bloody hell, he's so close.
That's why I use this. There's a bloody motor on this side as well. Oh, that's the cable that I didn't want to cut there.
Yeah.
Right, and that. Ooh.
What?
If I cut that. unfortunately I'm going to have to cut there and down there and just be very careful. Got to be careful at this bit here, because this is the bit that we... That's it.
Careful of these wires.
So this wire should just loop under, which it does, and we haven't marked it. So now what we need to do is take this cable out here, which is tucked in all the way around, and we need to get it out of this stalk, and that is actually an airtight seal, believe it or not. So these wires we're going to cut, this and this, we don't need them. What I'll do is I'll detach them cleanly. I need a micro driver. There we go, that's one out. And the other one. There we go. So we just need to now...
Is that the scary bit over and done with?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, it wasn't too bad then, really.
Right. This just needs to go up the pipe.
The cable.
Yep. And it should relieve the cable at the top. However, how's it going to come out?
I wonder what Elon Musk would think if he were watching this video.
I could sell a flat dish, that's what they're thinking. And they do, but they're $3 grand.
Right, that was a pain. You just had to get that out of there so that the wire will pull through.
Well,
hopefully.
hopefully. Oh, it's stuck again. Further up the spout. Wait a minute, it's stuck here. If I can get this down, which I might have to just...
Be careful. Oh, there we go.
Oh, thank goodness. Right, so this is the bit that we need. This bit here.
Right, next job is to test the dish still works and connect to the satellites. We're positioning it there so there's no trees above it. Now Starlink does usually take a while to log on and calibrate anyway, so it's going to be a tense few minutes.
Right, so the first thing we have to do is connect it to the Wi-Fi router here to get onto the network, and then the Starlink app will work and it will talk to the dish and tell us whether it's communicating or whether it's dead. So, but the router hasn't booted up yet. I dare push the button.
Come on then.
It should say booting up or establishing satellite. Entering Starlink network. Satellite found and attempting to join the Starlink network.
Well, that's faster than usual.
No, it hasn't worked. That just means it can see satellites from where it is. It's now got to log on, and then it obviously can't. The motor can't then position itself.
No, I know. It always does. It takes ages, Starlink.
This is actually really quick. Yesterday it took 15 minutes. But there's a new feature now when you've got the Roam package called Tilt, calculating orientation. This is where the motor's trying to adjust. There's a new feature now on the Roam package that allows you to tilt the dish. Now, obviously, we can't tilt it because it's pointing upwards, but it is set to flat mount now. So,
it's disconnected.
That's not good. What's that ticking sound?
Oh.
I thought that was... It's a bloody bird. I thought it was a dish.
I thought it was the dish trying to reorientate itself. Oh, thank God.
Oh my God. It's working.
It's working.
Thank God! That's the worst, the hardest bit done. The next bit now is to get a watertight seal into the...
mount.
Into the roof.
The roof.
Right, there we go. The dish fits in. 3D printing's a little bit slightly off, but that's because it's the bracket as well at the bottom has pulled it out. Probably because we're not doing it on a flat surface, but it's absolutely fine because this is going to be weather sealed tight anyway, and the dish is still weatherproof because we never breached the seal on the back when we took the thingy out. next thing I need to do is go on the roof and decide where we're going to position it, and obviously the brackets on the bottom have to be either glued down or screwed down, so we need to decide where we're going to put it first before we start running wires in. Right, so this problem I knew could be a problem, and is a problem, and I'm really not sure how we're going to fix it, but as you can see the brackets don't touch because of these ribs. So if we put it here, we could move it this way and then screw it into the ribs here and here and here, which would work, but then you're going to have a gap underneath. But it doesn't matter because the unit's weatherproof anyway. Or alternatively, we put it this side here, and as you can see there, it then sits on another rib there, and they don't sit flat, so we've got the same problem again. So the other alternative is to take a gouge out of there so it sits over the rib, but need to give it some thought.
So we decided to go with have it in the centre of the roof. It just looks more discreet from down below, you can't see it. Nick's just drilling a hole in the top for the Starlink cable to go down into, and it comes out there. Obviously we'll make that look nice and neat and pretty.
Just making the surface more porous so the glue will adhere to it better. Just need to wipe the dust off. And then this time I'm going to use clear CT1.
We've got the wiring and it's all the way down.
We've tested it and it works.
It's all working.
Right, let me just clean this out. And then shove that in there. Right, I need... So to get the tape through the gland, the wire through the gland, I had to cut the excess plastic off the wire here, and I've nicked it, and you've got a little bit of exposure there. So I'm going to put, actually I'll just put some CT1 on it, that'll seal it. I'll just use white since I'm already fully loaded with it. There you go. I swore I'd never use this stuff when we had the problem with the shower, because it all came off, but that was shiny. This is not. It's got something to grip on.
Is this the last thing to do now?
Yeah.
Time to stick it down.
Right. And it should just be a case of popping it in and clipping it into the groove. So there we go. And I'm just going to put a little bead around there just to add a bit of water protection. There we go, all done. I suppose we should switch it on for the very final time, make sure it's working, shouldn't we?
Yeah, shall I put it on?
Yeah, go on then. So there we go, it's the mount's fixed to the roof, it's sealed in the holes, the gland is fully sealed. I had to make some adaptations to get the wire through. We haven't done the inside of the cupboard yet inside, I'm going to do that next, but it's working.
Right, that's the wire inside. So all done. So how do you think that went?
As expected, long, but I'm pleased with the speed. 251 meg down, a static dish on the roof which is glued down now. All the cables are hidden, so no more boxes, and we're all controlled by a flick switch inside.
And it's 3:15, so how, maybe 3 hours, maybe?
Yeah.
Something like that.
That's not bad. Right, it's about an hour later. We've just been chilling since we came out after we tidied up. It's all looking good. I got a bit paranoid, so I went back up there and resealed the dish to the mount with clear sealant. I'm going to do it again a little bit later once it's had time to set, just to make sure that no moisture can get, no rain can get on the dish under and run on the inside and go down the inside of that bit where we've cut out. It's fine to have it open into the air because there's air holes in the Starlink anyway. But I just didn't fancy water running down the back of the dish and getting into that lip that we've cut out and then going down to the bottom of the dish and pulling in there. So I'm going to give that another seal. However, We're just cooking tea. As soon as we finished it, we are going to go out in the van with Starlink on the move to see whether it works. Now, Starlink do guarantee that it will work if you're travelling less than 10 mile an hour. We're not going to be going 10 mile an hour, that's for sure. We will see what it actually does do when we go out driving. So we'll go about 30 mile an hour. Leigh will drive, hopefully. It doesn't break the van. Leigh will drive, I will test the internet, we'll have it all running and booted up before we leave here, and we'll just see how it performs on the move, which will be great if we're doing that, because then when we're driving and Leigh's editing vlogs, he can upload them while we're travelling. Now the dish is now vertically pointing at the sky, so it's always talking to satellites. No matter where you're driving, as long as you're not going under a tunnel or something like that, it should still be able to talk to the satellites. And if you look at it in perspective of where the satellites are and where you are, there's the dish can talk at a 100-degree angle either side. So even if you're moving like this under the satellites above you, it should still talk to the satellites while you're moving at whatever the speed. At least that's the theory. We'll test it a bit later. Right, we're in the drive in the lodge, and I've just started Starlink up. It's just calculating orientation. As soon as we've got a signal, we're going to set off driving and give it like the acid test. Even if it's just like 5 meg, it's better than nothing at all.
To be fair, it'll be very rare that we want to use it while we're driving out.
You might want, if we're doing like a 3-hour drive, you might want to upload a vlog.
Maybe.
So it's just calculating orientation now. So once it gets online, we'll be back. Right, we're going 45 miles an hour, and Starlink is giving us 140 megasecond. Absolutely amazing. We've now got internet on the go. Can you believe it? It's only supposed to work 10 mile an hour.
Anywhere in the world?
Yeah. Well, no, anywhere in the European continent, unless you shift regions.
Oh, right, okay.
So 152 meg by 28 meg up. That is amazing.
28 meg up?
Yeah.
That's still better than when you're at the lodge.
And that's while we're driving. It's absolutely amazing that it works on the go. 177 meg now. I'm stunned. It's only supposed to work, they'll only guarantee that it works at 10 miles an hour. Obviously the dish is static and it's still pointing up, so I kind of knew from the theory of how it works that it would work a lot better than what they guarantee.
There's a lay-by close by-ish. Should we go there and see what it's like under trees and stuff like that?
It won't work under trees.
No, well, it'll work a little bit, won't it?
No.
I mean, in a normal sort of lay-by, I don't mean I'm going to park under trees. Let's just pretend we're staying there for tonight.
Well, it should work. If it's got clear view of the sky straight above us, then it should work. But yeah, go there. Right, it's about 10 minutes later. I'm still continually doing speed tests. Just got one again. How long are we travelling? 45 mile an hour again?
Yeah.
Yeah. 185 meg by 9.8 meg up. So, proper pleased with that. I thought maybe it would like reduce the speed to maybe 10 meg and just give us some signal, but it's actually not impacted it in any way. So the dish being on a motor really doesn't matter anymore, because as I said earlier on in the vlog, Starlink now have 5,500, almost 6,000 satellites. So no matter where your dish is pointing, even if it's through a tiny gap in the trees, you're still going to get signal. But I'll just do one more test just to be sure. Look at that, 190 odd meg. It's slowed down a little bit, 146. That's 3 times faster than the lodge. And 30 meg up now as well.
Right, we're in this park up. It's a nice little park up actually, nicely sheltered by the trees. We've come under the trees so we can test how it's like. Wind farm, turbines and stuff there. 200, oh, we're going down a little bit. 100,
under trees.
Yeah, 176 down, and
the upload is not great. Well, 10 meg.
10 meg, that's still more than friggin' lodge.
And we're parked
under trees.
I mean, it's still got directly line of sight. If you look up, it's directly above. So it's not even under the trees. And to be fair, if you think about that, unless the tree hangs over, we're never going to be under trees anywhere, are we?
Are you giddy?
Yeah, very.
Suited.
It says this speed test runs over the device's current connection. Connect directly to your Starlink network to run a speed test. It's because we've got our own router, that's why. This is the obstruction map, so looking down, this is what the satellite dish sees on the roof, and as you can see, it's now vertical up. These red dots could be from when we were driving or when we were parked at the lodge. But let's just do one more speed test.
Oh no, not
just
again.
One more.
I'm bored of it now.
Just one more. Ooh. Ooh.
Ooh. What did it say? Speed test
failed.
Ooh.
Offline.
Ooh.
Wait a minute. Online.
Oh, we're back.
There we go.
Oh, it's
maybe it just recalculated satellites.
101. It's slowed down a little bit.
Well, I can live with that.
Head rush. Just got up off the sofa too quick. Just got off the sofa too quick. My ears are ringing. Nick is just doing even more things on the van. What are you doing? There were a few cracks on the back where the plinth was above the curtains, and I've just filled them with chalk, cork, whatever, and then just touch them up with paint. So there you go. You never sit still.
The van's now ready for another trip now.
Which hopefully we're going on this weekend. So thank you for watching today, guys. I'm going to finish the vlog. It does look like it's sort of like still afternoon, but it's 8 o'clock. Look at these sunny evenings. So thanks for watching today, guys. Hit the like button, click the notification bell, drop us a comment below. We're going to think about where we're going to go. We might actually head over to where my parents and things live. Because it's the girl's birthday soon, and I thought I need to take their birthday presents over. And I thought instead of staying in the apartment, we'll just take the van. And because there's some campsites around them.
A CL. There's a CL.
Yeah, and because it's such nice weather, it will be the perfect chance just to get out in the van and see the family. So we'll see if that happens anyway. So we shall see you on the next vlog. Hungry. You're always hungry. Why don't you make us a slice of toast? And a cup of tea.
I'm just trying to process whether I want one. We haven't got any. I'd love a slice of cheese on some toast. We ain't got any.
No. So I'll have a slice of toast and a cup of tea.
You'll have to make it. I don't want toast.
We'll see you on the next vlog.
Bye.